In today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to take all of this mess and all these different boxes and get them down into a single crate that I found at Costco. So what I'm going to try to do is take all of this and consolidate it and organize it into my new storage unit, or maybe even 2 storage units, but this is just too difficult. So we've got, these things are like, some of them have various categories in them, some of them are half full, some of them I maybe don't need. This is the one that I use the most. It's got various things in here. It's got parts and whatnot. And then for my camera, I took this, which is, I love it, but wow, look how big it is. When really for that particular trip that I was on, I only needed 1 camera body, and I didn't really have anything smaller, and I had no place to put it. I do have this bag. This bag is, for like toiletries and whatnot, and so I can put my Nikon in that. But I got to thinking, why don't I just put this in one of the storage bins and try and get this more organized? And so some of these things I'm not even using, because basically it's like a junk drawer, and so I don't want the junk drawer type of thing anymore. So I'm going to try and fix that. Now, in a previous video, I think I did a short on this or something, and I had been contemplating getting this, and the reason I wanted it and the reason I went ahead and got it are several reasons. For one thing, it's modular, and so you can buy one or you can buy a whole stack of them, and they do stack. Now, when I tried it at Costco, it didn't work. That's because of this thing right here. So let's take that off. Now, if you look on the bottom of the unit, you will see that it has the indentations for one of these. So if we take, and they fit in there like this, okay? So let's take 2 of them to simulate if I had 2 crates. And of course, they would be perfectly aligned if I had them. So now if I had another crate, then we could just stack these on top of each other and then just be able to lift an entire unit off. And I think that is a huge advantage over like a single box or my shoebox idea. The shoeboxes don't really fit into anything very well. And so let's see what we can do here. Also want to show you how these work. These are essentially like the ammo boxes at the Army Navy store, except for they're plastic. And, they did that to keep them cheap and whatnot, but they have these nice locking lids. And then each one of them has a handle. And the advantage of that is obvious, because if you wanted to just take 1 or 2 with you, you could, and that's great. And then they fit back in there, and then the handles fold down for the next stack. So I think that is a really great feature. So what I'm going to try to do is get this organized. I think what I want to start with is my Nikon camera. Hopefully that will fit, but I don't know. If it won't, then we'll have to try something else. Okay, it won't do it while it's attached. Let's see if this will fit in there. Okay, so some of this video might be a bit of trial and error because I have a bunch of different problems I'm trying to solve. I don't know if I have enough room for the lens. Actually, I do. All right, so that is one way that I could have my Nikon and lens protected without bringing an entire backpack. And it does take up a lot of room because this is one of the bigger ones. That's the D7100, and it takes a lot of room. But, I'm going to do a little bit of trial and error and see if I can make this work. And then I want to label these so that I know exactly what is in each box and I don't have to hunt. I'm going to get a label printer to print these out nice and neat, but for now I'm just going to take some of this so that I don't have to keep opening them up. And then I'll get some pretty labels later. Let's take some of this stuff out. Trail camera. We have another box in here. Some of these just don't belong in this box. Here's an adapter. This is actually empty. So that's a lot of wasted space. Ah, don't forget salted caramel. All right, now let's see. I think it's fun to bring the trail camera when I'm camping just to catch wildlife if I can. Here's another. One of the boxes I think that makes sense would be like power adapters. And so I tried to get the charger for the Nikon in the other box. If I took out that pad, it might work, so maybe I could work it in there, but we'll see. Now this cord is for the Nikon, so I'm going to put that on the Nikon box. That'll easily go in there. This adapter is for the Nikon, so I'll put that there. That'll fit in there. So this is a USB cable. Maybe we'll do cables and adapters or something like that. This is also for the Nikon. This you put over the lens cap, or I mean the eyepiece, so that if you want to do long exposures, light doesn't come in. So we'll put that back on there. That's nice and small. This tape measure doesn't really belong in here because in the motorhome I have a toolbox, and also a voltmeter doesn't really belong here. So I can take these and move them somewhere else. So here's some adapters, and so this is more on the power adapters, so put them in there. There's some different sizes. So here's some batteries, and I think the thing to do is what I did before to get organized was I started grouping things and putting them in small plastic bags that were labeled. And then I was able to do that. So let me go get some bags and I'll show you how I did that before. All right, so I've got a Sharpie and a plastic bag. And then on the label here, I'll do cables. And then this will be like USB cables, power cables. So I'll keep them all in one category. So there's a USB. So I really like this method, and I'm going to speed this up along and put all of my USB cables in one bag, and then I can find them very quickly and easily. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to take some various parts that don't belong and put them back in the Nikon or whatever box that they're supposed to go into. This is also for the Nikon. I'm not sure if I did a review on this, but this is an infrared trigger, so we'll put that there. One thing that I found is I had a bunch of lens caps for the telescope, and they were just sort of thrown in the bottom of the box, and I couldn't find them when I need them. So I'm going to set them all aside, and then I'm going to create another box just for the telescope when I get all of this organizing done for the cables. Wow, I think this might fit without having another trip to Costco. I've got these other boxes that I was showing you. Let's see. Some of these things I may not need. I'm not sure. So I like taking these. I like taking this tiny tripod with me that can hold a camera. So I'm going through all these boxes. I'm going to take out things that just don't need to go on a trip. So the thing to do is go through every box and make sure that you're only taking things you're actually going to use. So the next step here is that I'm going to get another plastic bag and I'm going to label it power adapters and put that into the power box. And so basically one box is going to be like a super category, and then within that box you're going to have individual plastic bags with subcategories. Okay, so the power adapters box is done. This is all related to the telescope, but this is too disorganized to just toss it in there. Now the next issue here are all these lens caps that I had from my telescopes. Previously I just put them in the bottom of the box, and then when I needed them I couldn't find them. So I'm going to put all of those in one plastic bag, and then I'll be able to find them, and they'll all go into the telescope box. Well, this is great. I almost have this done. At this point, all I need to do is just go through the rest of the categories and pick up and organize them by subject, and then put them in the plastic bags and then into the boxes. I was taking all of this and this, which is my camera bag, all of that, and I've now organized it into just one box with a couple of stragglers. So I got, and I'll figure out what to do with them, but wow, that's a lot better. And now I'm not going to accidentally put something on my Nikon camera or something else that's of value, because now they're protected. And so I'm really happy with these, and it's smaller footprint. And then I think what I might do is I might go get another one and have an extra one on top if I need it, and we'll see later on. Well, anyway, I'm pretty happy about that. Well, I am just thrilled with the results, and this worked out way better than I was expecting, and so I'm really happy with this, and now I can just take them all and have them protected. So I hope you found that helpful. And like I said, I bought these at Costco. There is a similar item that I found online that I put in the description below if you want to check that out. Maybe your local Costco doesn't have it. But I paid $20 for these, and I think that for what it does, it is a huge bargain. And so I may go get another one. So anyway, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.